All good? All right, so I initially wanted to talk about some other data set, but as I've seen the data set that's been published for the data visualization competition tonight, I figured that I would do something about this as a dplyr use case. So this is data about flights from and to Budapest, so I've put pictures of Budapest from above. Yeah. So you can, right. So before I get started, I want to talk about the pipe. So quick show of hands, who's been using the pipe? Right, so I'll be really quick about this. The typical example I give with the pipe is how to make buns. So let's imagine you have a few functions to do different kind of steps of making buns. So you have a function to put things in a bowl and then to add new ingredients and then to just beat the preparation and so on. So with typical R code, you would write something nested like what you have on top there. What the pipe allows you to do is to sort of switch things around, and it changes sort of everything. So instead of having this nested expression, you have essentially a story of what you have to do to make your buns. So you put everything in your bowl, then you add some flour, then you beat the preparation for 3 minutes, then you shape it, then you bake it, then you cool it, and then you can enjoy your buns, right? What I just want to emphasize is that with this, what happens is that each argument of each function is right next to the function it is relating to, as opposed to on top there. So if you look at bake, for example, its arguments are all the way down there, and it's really hard to sort of find out which arguments are about which function. And with this, you can just read this as English. Obviously, we're not going to talk about making buns, but I just wanted to separate concerns about manipulating the data and just talking about the pipe operator. Right, so anyway, so I'm going to use data from the data visualization challenge. Who's been playing with the data set? So a bit less people. Who's been submitting entries for tonight? Right. So that sounds fun. So the data set looks like this. You have a lot of columns, a lot of information about flights that are arriving to Budapest or leaving Budapest between 2007 and 2012, I guess, something. And so you have information about the airport, the city, the country, whether it's an incoming or outgoing flight, and so on. Then you have a bunch of variables for the dates. For some reason, there's 5 of them. Then you have information about the number of passengers in the flight. Those are monthly aggregated data, so you don't have data for each flight, but you have data for all of the flights during a month between Budapest and London, say. Then you have the weight that is carried by the flights. Then you have the number of flights it represents, and then the seat capacity, so the number of total seats that are available on these flights. Right, this was given to us as an Excel file. So what I've just used to read this is the read Excel package from Adley, and it just worked out of the box. Right, so I just do read Excel, name of the file. I have to download it before I do this. But that's pretty much it. Now I'm going to talk about a few issues I've seen with the file, with the data, before we can play with it. Okay, so to begin with, all of the columns there are with all caps, and some of them have spaces in it, and so I don't like that. So, for example, this, well, especially this one, but I'm going to talk about this one later. You know, the flight direction, whether it's incoming or outgoing. There's a space there, and I have to keep pushing my shift button to reference this column, and I don't like that. So that's one concern. I mean, I'm pretty picky, but whatever. It especially matters when you use things that do non-standard evaluation, like dplyr or even a data table. You're not going to be able to use this as a variable in your data table sentence, or in your dplyr sentence, or in your data table, whatever you call what you do. How do you call a data table thing? An expression? An expression. All right, so I don't like this, so we'll see how to change this afterwards. Then there are some columns that are not that useful. The commercial flag, all of the values in the date frame are the same, so I'm not going to do anything with this, so we're going to drop the column. And there's this region column that could have been interesting, but pretty much all of the data is missing values, so we're going to discard this one as well. That's what I was saying before. We have 5 different ways to express the dates, and because all of those are aggregated by month, we only need 2 information actually. We only need the year and the month. So we don't need 5 different ways to express the date, but we just need 1 column for the year and 1 column for the month. Right, so we're going to change this as well. And now I just wanted to highlight a few problems I've seen with the data as I was sort of playing with it. So there are a lot of empty flights. So there are a lot of flights. During some month, there are a lot of flights with no passengers and carrying no weight. So I was kind of like, what happens with this? So if you look at the flights leaving Budapest and going to Arad in January 2008, there's 22 flights that have no passengers and carrying no weight. So there's something wrong with the data in there. Maybe it's missing value, maybe it's something else, I don't know. Maybe Wednesday or someone can highlight this tonight. And is that the same thing? No, so this is wrong. The other problem that I've seen is that there are a lot of flights where the number of passengers exceeds the capacity of the flights, so I was just wondering where they put the extra passengers. Right, so that just things I've been looking at while playing with the data. So what I've done with this is I've sat down and keep calm, and I was just tidying up the data to make it look like something that I want to use and what I want to make outputs with. So for that extent, I've done a little bit of dplyr. Let me walk you through this. So you grab the raw data. I'm going to change the names to replace the spaces by underscore, which I can use in my expressions, and then I'm going to put them lowercase because I prefer this. I'm quite lazy, so I don't want to shift all the time. Then some of the variable I want to rename those to a simple name, again because I'm quite lazy. Then I want to create new variables. Well, this is actually a rename that could have been there, but I want to grab the month as a single variable, so that I have a variable for year and one for month. Then I'm creating some extra variables to identify the cases where there are no passengers and the case where there are no weight, and then afterwards we can get interested in the overlap of those two conditions. Then I'm grouping the data by those variables because I only want to be interested in flights from one city, from Budapest to one city, and some cities have several airports. So in London you have 5 airports, for example. For the purpose of this, I just wanted to have information about the flights from Budapest to London as a group of airports. So that's why I'm not grouping by some other variable. And then what I just do after I group the information by those, I just calculate some extra variables in the summaries. Then I want to order the data in ascending order of those variables. I want the data for 2007 first, and then keep going. Within 2007, I want January, February, and so on. Right, so the data looks like this once tidied up, and then we can play with it. The other thing that we wanted to do with this is that we have the names of the cities. We wanted to match this to their location on the map, so longitude and latitude. So for this, we've used this function, Geocode, from the Dismo package. It essentially calls back to the Google Maps API, and because of some restrictions of the Google Maps API, we couldn't just send all of the cities and wait for the result. We had to send them manually, one at a time. Otherwise, the API wouldn't let us do it. So this is what I've been doing there with some dplyr. Right, and then with this we have cities, the countries they're in. This is the how Google Maps API interprets that city. There's a few surprises sometimes, but it's mostly all right. And then we have data about longitude and latitude, and then information about uncertainty and the bounding box of the city, the limits in which the city lies. And then, so with this, we have the flights data set and the cities data set. All of that I've put in some of my GitHub repository, and so that we can play with those. I've just put two really quick examples of playing with this data. So the first thing I want to talk about is who went to Budapest in the summer of 2011. 5 minutes, all right? Let's move quickly. So we're interested in who goes to Budapest, so the direction has to be incoming. And in the summer, I've used the proxy of summer. I'm only considering summer to be July and August, and the year, right? So this is who goes to Budapest in the summer. And then we want to summarize information group by country so that we have information about where do people come from in terms of their country. Then I'm just sorting the data. So this gives, no, I didn't put the results, but you can trust me. I have agreed not to type on the computer. Right, so when are people leaving Budapest? So same again, we have to filter based on the direction. We only want the outgoing flights. Then I'm transforming the data to factors, but this is the detail. This is just for ggplot. Then I'm summarizing. I'm counting the number of passengers grouped by year and month, so that we can have. Yeah, we don't want to talk about this. So that we can then just make a quick ggplot to show the seasonality of when are people leaving Budapest. And I didn't really have time to look into this, but maybe someone local can tell me what happened in April 2010. Why did people stop leaving Budapest at that month? There's something out of the typical trend there.
Early April.
Huh?
Elections.
Elections. All right. Lovely. So when people have to vote, they don't go out of the country for a month. Interesting. So putting all this together, we've developed a Shiny app with a talented art programmer who happens to also be my partner in life. And we'll show this to you tonight if you stay until the end of the conference. We have a few things. We have like a map that you can zoom in and grab information from with pop-ups. We have tables and graphs and stuff, and that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today. For this, is there any questions?
This was a pretty brief and quick talk. That's an exception. We have some time. Please go ahead.
That's on purpose. Questions?
Come on. I'm sure you have some questions.
So when you do the data cleaning stuff, how do you notice these things? Obviously, that makes sense once you know them.
Yeah, well, just playing around. For the capacity thing, I initially wanted to plot like changes in how the planes are full, and then I noticed those data going above 1. So I was like, maybe we should check that. About the empty flight, I was just being curious about the data.
Yeah. I was wondering if anybody ever did the dancing kind of protocol. Obviously, it's very data dependent. But you should check.
Yeah, sure. All right. There's another one.
Another question, just to respond to your question. In 2010 April, the volcano in Iceland crashed.
The what?
The volcano in Iceland. Sorry, I can't pronounce it.
Volcano eruption in Iceland, remember?
Ah, okay. Oh, yeah, the crazy name. Okay, that could be that. Or elections.
Okay, maybe we have time for one further question.
Yeah? I have a question on my own. Yeah?
It's your time,
All right, this is a bit of a personal question. So for this, I'm going to ask Cecile to join me. I've been stressed for ages. So I just wanted to say that, every day that I spend with you is, come on, is a day I want to remember, and I want to keep doing this forever. So to that extent, I guess I'm supposed to do it like this. So we'll be married. I like the answer. Yeah. So, that's all I wanted to say.